Jason, you will remain the captain. All right.
And Bob, this is Elizabeth. I'm the scorekeeper.
Hi, Elizabeth.
Hello.
The important thing is to just keep resetting that buzzer.
Yep.
Are you on a wire connection, I hope?
Yes.
Oh, good. We've had problems with Wi-Fi scorekeepers. Jason, are you going to be playing with two or with three or four?
Should be four. I think Andrew and Debbie are both on. We're just waiting for Leah.
Okay. And Ray, how about you?
She'll be on.
We're good to go with three if this is all we have, but we might have a fourth joining us soon.
Okay. And remember, as long as the teams are in play and somebody is part of your team, they can join whenever they arrive. We have no rules against that. Just people are not allowed to turncoat and, switch from one team to another.
So what have the Wi-Fi issues been?
It's just that the scorekeepers on Wi-Fi have been losing. Yeah, have been losing connection. No, the players on Wi-Fi have been fine, but the scorekeepers on Wi-Fi have caused glitches.
It's not Zoom. It's the buzzer itself. Ermin's actually put in new code to basically there's dialogue that's sent back and forth from the buzzer to the server. And when it's Wi-Fi, those packets can be lost and then the game thinks it's disconnected. So Ermin's put a new code in place to basically replicate and make it seem like there's data being sent at all times. So it should be working itself out for Wi-Fi, but we do still highly recommend plugged in scorekeepers. Zoom, though, you can be on your mobile data if you really want, and it should give you enough juice to get in.
That voice you're hearing is not HAL 3000, but Dan Strafford, who is weighing in.
As I often do.
Yes. Well, who's the character that Michael Sheen plays in Passengers? He's a robot, the robot bartender. Nobody saw Passengers but me.
Is he the actor from
Frost Nixon?
Okay. Yep. I have not seen it.
Michael Sheen.
What was the question about him?
Well, I was just wondering what the character's name was.
Arthur?
Was it?
Is that it? Oh no, this is Passengers. No, let me see.
Passengers with
yep.
Chris Pratt and Jennifer Lawrence. It was kind of a dud of a movie, but he was an enjoyable character, I thought.
It is Arthur, the perfect bartender.
Arthur, yeah. That was good. Not to be confused with the bartender in The Shining. The Onion had one of their inquiring photographers about The Shining, and the item that Stephen King has always hated Stanley Kubrick because he always hated the movie The Shining. And one of the men on the street response was, yeah, I can understand why somebody who jotted down some silly shit would be mad that they turned it into a masterpiece. That's a really good movie. Here's Johnny. How are we doing there, Dan, Elizabeth?
We're good to go. I think we can do a round of test buzzes and kick off right at 1:05.
We seem to have 8 players, so I think we should not kill time, but we should get moving.
Yeah, our fourth Samir just showed up, so we're good.
So Elizabeth, if you want to do a rundown of each team test buzzes, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, go ahead, folks. Charlie. Andy. Ray. Samir. All right, Jason. Andrew. Leah. And Debbie. Go team.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Elizabeth is our scorekeeper. Dan is our guardian angel, and Bob, me, are the host. And with this match, we have Casu Marzu as Casu Marzu, which we will abbreviate, as the blue team, with Ray as the captain. Ray is waving there. Versus All About That Bays, the red team. Jason is the captain. I assume he's waving, though I cannot see him. And welcome. We have a good board for you. And of course, we have 5 Kaplan crowdsourced potpourri questions in between the first and second round to tantalize and build your score 3 points at a time. A reminder, you don't have to answer in the form of a question, but you do have to refrain from buzzing a third time in any category. But we'll see if that comes up. Good luck to both teams. Our first category for the 1 to 5 round is mammals. Mammals for 1 point. In Tibet, a cross between domestic cattle and this wild ox is called a dzo. Ray.
What is a yak?
Yak is correct. First blood for Casu Marzu, 1 point. Mammals for 2. You could say this Arctic mammal, Odobenus rosmarus, has a Wilford Brimley mustache. Andrew?
It's a walrus.
Walrus mustache. That's right. 2 points for the red team. Mammals for 3. This insectivore has a synonym for pig in its name. Andy?
Aardvark.
That's incorrect. A break for the red team. You'll consult, and you have 10 seconds to pass or answer, and you can, let us in on your consultation. This insectivore has a synonym for pig in its name. 10 seconds to consult and answer or pass.
We're consulting. Hold on.
Sure.
Oh.
I'll ask for your.
Yep, we're gonna answer.
Okay.
Porcupine.
Incorrect. So you lose 3 points, and no harm, no foul. The insectivore with a synonym for pig in its name, the synonym is hog, and it is a hedgehog. Hedgehog is what we were looking for.
Was that 3 points down
Yes.
for red team then? Okay.
It was, yeah. The blue team got the 1 point. The red team got 2 points. Then they each lose 3.
Yeah, I don't think you've subtracted ours yet. Okay, sweet.
Okay. Still early. Here we go. Mammals for 4. The characteristic shape of this whale, the only species in the genus Megaptera, makes it the easiest great whale to identify. The characteristic shape of this whale, the only, Andrew?
A humpback.
Humpback whale is right, and the red team gets out of the hole with 4 points. Now we go to the 5-point clue in mammals. Here we go for 5 points, teams. Elizabeth, you want to set that to 5? Thank you. It's not a feline. It's not a reptile. It's the fossa, the largest carnivore of this largest island off Africa. Ray.
What is Madagascar?
Madagascar is right. And both teams are out of the hole, tied 3-3. That's the way we like to see it. Well done, teams. Our next category for 1 point, sitcom spouses. Sitcom spouses. For 1 point, Carol O'Connor and Gene Stapleton in this series. Carol O'Connor. Jason.
All in the Family.
That is correct for 1 point. Sitcom spouses for 2. Ray Romano and Patricia Heaton. Ray.
What is Everybody Loves Raymond?
That is correct for 2 points. Sitcom spouses for 3. Larry Hagman and Barbara Eden. Larry Hagman, Jason?
Dallas.
Incorrect.
Oh, Jesus.
A break,
Oh,
a break for the blue team. Larry Hagman and Barbara Eden. Ray?
Ray, any idea?
I don't know. It's a little bit before most of our time. Any guesses?
I have no idea.
I want to say I Dream of Jeannie, but I don't think that that's right. So I think we pass.
Yeah, let's pass.
You pass?
We're
Jason,
pass.
what is it?
I Dream of Jeannie.
Yeah, it is. I Dream of Jeannie. You should have stuck to your guns. Okay, here we go. But I concede it was before most of your time.
Hey, Bob.
Yeah.
If I answered twice but it was incorrect, am I still banned from the rest of them?
Yes, it's buzzes, not correct answers.
All right.
So you're out of this category, yeah. For 4 points in sitcom spouses, William Frawley and Vivian Vance. William Frawley and Vivian Vance. Time. Oh, it was a triple stumper on the show, too. That's so depressing to me. They were Fred and Ethel Mertz on I Love Lucy, perhaps the greatest sitcom of all time, in my opinion. Okay, finally, for 5 points in sitcom spouses, Jim Backus and Natalie Schaefer. Jim Backus and Natalie Schaefer. Time. Dan, do you remember? Elizabeth, do you remember?
Gilligan's Island?
The Millionaire.
Yeah.
That's right.
I
Gilligan's
was singing in
Island.
the background here.
Okay. Well, this is a different way to go in our next category. Aircraft carrier names. Aircraft carrier names. For 1 point. Shades of Star Trek, the U.S. Navy's aircraft, Andrew?
Enterprise.
Enterprise, yeah. I didn't think I'd get through that entire clue. Very good, Andrew, for 1 point. Aircraft carrier names for 2. A woman born Mamie Dowd christened this carrier. A woman born Mamie Dowd christened this carrier. 5 seconds. Ray.
What is the Eisenhower?
Very good. Mamie Dowd was the maiden name of Dwight Eisenhower's wife. Eisenhower's correct for 2 points. Those are well earned. Here we go for 3 points in aircraft carrier names. Aircraft carriers named for stinging insects include the USS Wasp and this one, now a museum. Andy.
Hornet.
The Hornet is right for 3 points. For 4 points. An adjective meaning courageous is the name of a carrier that's now a floating historic landmark. Jason?
Intrepid.
Intrepid. Very good for 4 points. No team letting go of the reins. That's good. Here we go for 5 points. An aircraft carrier was named this, a fictional Tibetan land of eternal youth. Andy?
Shangri-La.
Shangri-La is right for 5 points. At the end of the halfway point in our first round, blue team, Casu, Marzu at 15, all about that base 6. But as you've seen from the answering, it's pretty much even Steven. As we go to our next category, the bare facts. The bare facts, and that's B-A-R-E, by the way, bare facts, for 1 point. About her, Lord Tennyson wrote, "Then she rode forth, clothed on with chastity." About her, Lord Tennyson wrote, "Then she rode forth." Ray?
Who is the Lady of Shalott?
Incorrect. Break for the red team. About her, Lord Tennyson wrote, "Then she rode forth, clothed on with chastity." You can pick up a point here, Jason and red team.
We're consulting.
Sure.
We're going to pass.
Okay. Perhaps the most famous historical naked lady of all time, Lady Godiva. Lady Godiva. Also a fine chocolate bar. Okay. The bare facts for 2. Everybody muted? Yes, we are. In 1974, Ray Stevens recorded a novelty record about, Andy?
The Streak.
The streaking, I'll take it. This new fad of running nude, I'll take it for 2 points. The bare facts for 3. The revival of this 1967 musical that featured some nudity won a 2009 Ray.
What is Hair?
2009 Tony Award for Best Musical Revival. Hair is correct for 3 points. The bare facts for 4. This term refers to swimming in your birthday suit, whether you're fat or thin. Andy.
Skinny dipping.
That is correct. Skinny dipping for 4 points. And finally, 5 points in the bare facts. William Strachey of Jamestown described her as, quote, well featured but wanton, quote, unquote, after seeing her do cartwheels naked. William Strachey of Jamestown described her as, quote, well featured but wanton, unquote, after seeing her do cartwheels naked. Andrew.
Pocahontas.
Pocahontas is right for 5 points. I don't know why they either I was going to get popcorn and they left that out of the Disney movie. The naked cartwheels is not something I remember. Okay, very well done there. And we go to our next category, the 10 Commandments. The 10 Commandments. For 1 point, honor these 2 people, you'll live longer. Ray.
Who are thy father and thy mother?
Thy father and mother is correct for 1 point. 10 Commandments for 2. In the commandments, God makes it clear that he's not big on graven these. Andy?
Idols.
Incorrect. Break for the red team. In the commandments, God makes it clear that he's not big on graven these. You have 10 seconds to consult.
Hold on. We were really digging that idols answer. Hold on.
Jason, answer or pass?
We're gonna answer.
Okay.
And we're gonna say images.
Images is correct. Graven idols are not exactly images. So that's a 2-point clue, 4-point swing. Nicely done. Okay, so 10 Commandments for 3 points. From the Latin for defile comes this, which thou shalt not commit. From the Latin for defile comes this, which thou shalt not commit. 5 seconds. Ray.
What is adultery?
Adultery is right for 3 points, and I think you're out of the category. I think that's your second buzz. So the blue team will have to pick up without you for the 4-point clue. 1 commandment says, remember this day to keep it holy. Charlie?
The Sabbath.
The Sabbath is right for 4 points. And finally, 10 Commandments for 5. The commandments forbid bearing false this against your neighbor. Andy?
Witness.
False witness is right. Okay, our final category is, there will be ramifications, and the letters RAM are in quotes. So as any Jeopardy maven knows, that means RAM will be part of every correct response, okay? Ramifications, RAM in quotes, RAM, for 1 point. The first pharaoh of this name ruled around 1293 BC. Jason.
Ramses.
Ramses the first. 1 point for the red team. Ramifications, RAM, for 2. Asian wheat flour noodles served in broth. Ray.
What is ramen?
What is ramen? And the staple of many an indigent college student, including myself back in the day. Ramen noodles. For 3 points. 3-syllable term for noisy or lacking in restraint. Charlie?
Rambunctious.
Like a bunch of school kids on a field trip. Rambunctious is correct for 3 points. Very well done. For 4 points. Ramifications. To talk or write aimlessly. Andy?
Ramble.
To ramble is correct for 4 points. And finally, 5 points. Rickety, like an old house about to fall down. Ray?
What is ramshackle?
Ramshackle is right. So we have a score of 48-14, favor of the blue team. We switch gears to our 5 Kaplan crowdsourcing potpourri. 3 points for each question, 3 points subtracted if you're wrong. We go to our first one. Plutophobia. Plutophobia isn't the fear of dwarf planets, but of this. Ray?
What is wealth or money?
Fear of wealth is correct. And you know, I've never known anyone to suffer from it. Isn't that funny? Okay, for another 3 points. That was sent in by Hannah Flaherty, by the way. Thank you, Hannah, for that. The day before the Oscars, this ceremony is held to name the year's worst filmic achievements. Ray?
What are the Razzies?
The Razzies or the Golden Raspberry Awards. That's another 3 points for the blue team. This year, the top Golden Raspberry was won by the Emoji Movie. The Emoji Movie was voted the worst. Okay, Ray, I think you're out of this category, am I not? Yeah, you're right. Okay. Here we go for 3 more points. Arnold Schwarzenegger nagged General Motors to create a civilian version of this brand. Andy?
Hummer.
Hummer or Humvee? We would accept it both. 3 points. By the way, Misha Alexiev gave us the Razzies question, and Kathleen Acton sent in the Hummer question. Thank you very much for that. Okay, for 3 points. The Öresund Bridge is a combined railway and motorway span, 12 kilometers to travel from Sweden to this European country. The Öresund Bridge is a combined railway and, Andrew?
Denmark.
Denmark is right. Malmo to Copenhagen, to be precise. That's 3 points for the red team. Here we go for our final 3-point question. And that was sent in by Maria Preston. Thank you, Maria.
Are y'all seeing the 3 points added?
I thought it should be 17. I'm seeing.
It should be 17.
I'm just seeing 14 right now.
Interesting. Can you just do me a quick favor? Tespa, can you reset? No, nothing. Can you refresh quickly?
Okay,
Right now,
let's see if that does it.
Yeah, we're
Just go to rejoin game at the bottom.
We're 57-17.
There we go. Okay.
And then try
Okay,
the
score is right.
Jason, can you give me a test buzz?
Good.
Excellent. We should be a char. Yeah, everybody's there. We should be good to go.
I can't see him.
Yeah, the buzzer's locked out on our screen.
Hold on. Let's reload this.
There were a lot of people talking. What was that?
We just got to reload because we weren't seeing it cleared.
Yep. So yeah, refresh. Everybody refresh their buzzer. You should be good to go. Thank you.
Leah, you gotta refresh yours.
Okay.
Okay, we're good to go. Here we go. The final 3-point question. Lewis and Clark's 2-year expedition resulted in exactly 1 fatality. I have a gut feeling you know what ailment Sergeant Charles Floyd died of. Lewis and Clark's, Jason?
Appendicitis?
Yes, that's right. Can you imagine, after 2 years of exploring the wilderness, 1 death from appendicitis? That's correct. So very good there, Jason. We have no possibility of a tie because we have 1 odd score, 57 for the blue team, and 1 even score, 20 points for the red team. Plenty of points to be had in the second round. Well done, everybody. Get hands on your buzzers as we start a new day with our 2-point first question in the category on Wisconsin. On Wisconsin. For 2 points. This nickname for Wisconsin folks goes back to lead miners who lived in holes in the ground or hillsides. Ray?
What are badgers?
Badgers is the Wisconsin nickname. That's 2 points for the blue team. On Wisconsin for 4. The USA's first one of these classes for youngsters opened its doors in Watertown in 1856. The USA's, Andy?
Kindergarten?
First kindergarten is correct for 4 points. USA's first kindergarten, 1856. On Wisconsin for 6. Wisconsin borders these two Great Lakes. Wisconsin borders these two Great Lakes. Debbie?
Lake Michigan and Lake Superior.
That is correct for 6 points. Nicely done. Whew, I don't even think I would have gotten that right away. I certainly wouldn't have buzzed in with much alacrity. Well done, Debbie. That's 6 points for the red team. On Wisconsin for 8. Surprisingly, these Wisconsin islands have names like Sand, Raspberry, and Oak instead of Judas, Andrew, and Peter. Surprisingly, these Wisconsin islands have names, Ray?
What are Disciple Islands? The Disciple Islands?
Incorrect. Break for the red team. Surprisingly, these Wisconsin islands have names like Sand, Raspberry, and Oak instead of Judas, Andrew, and Peter.
We'll probably guess. Hold on one moment. We're going to say the Apostle Islands.
The Apostle Islands is correct. Yes, Disciples was a good guess, but Apostles was a better one, and that's 8 points for the red team. That narrows it quite a bit. Okay, on Wisconsin for 10. I told you, with these points, the scores can really change. You can polish off this clue if you know that Frank Lloyd Wright designed the headquarters for this company in Racine. You can polish off this clue if you know that Frank Lloyd Wright designed the headquarters for this company in Racine. 5 seconds. Debbie?
I'm a big fan of Frank Lloyd Wright. I think it was John Wax or something.
Incorrect. Over to the blue team. You can polish off this clue if you know that Frank Lloyd Wright designed the HQ for this company in Racine.
I have no idea with any confidence.
Yeah, it's definitely some sort of a wax or shiner, but turtle wax.
Which
I don't know.
one
I
it
don't
is?
think we're confident enough.
I think we passed for 10.
Yeah, we'll pass.
Debbie's so close. Johnson Wax. Johnson Wax. Had to go with in the second round. We need exactitude, so Johnson Wax was correct. But nice try, and let's move on. Let's keep guessing boldly for our next category, the Cannes Film Festival, but it's spelled C-O-N. The Cannes Film Festival for 2 points. Brad Pitt played an ace card sharp who was one of George Clooney's accomplices in this, Andrew?
Ocean's 11.
Ocean's 11, this 2011 caper. That's 2 points for the red team. The Cannes, C-O-N, Film Festival. Michael Caine teamed up with this comic actor as the title con men in Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. Jason?
Steve Martin.
Steve Martin was his cohort. Wonderful musical, too, if you ever have a chance to see it. It's one of my favorites. The Cannes Film Festival for 6. C-O-N. Mel Gibson and Jodie Foster are card-playing cons. Ray?
What is Maverick?
Maverick, this Western based on a TV series. That's 6 points for the blue team. Cannes Film Festival for 8. Gabriel Byrne, Stephen Baldwin, Benicio del Toro, Kevin Ray?
What is The Usual Suspects?
Kevin Pollak and Spacey are the title figures of The Usual Suspects. That's 8 points for the blue team. Good anticipation. And finally, for 10 points, the Cannes Film Festival. Tatum O'Neal won an Oscar as the protege of con man Ryan O'Neal in this period piece. Tatum O'Neal won an Oscar as the, Jason?
The paper moon.
I was just going to call time. Paper Moon is correct for 10 points. Paper Moon. Okay. Next category, Gilbert and Sullivan. Gilbert and Sullivan for 2 points. Frederick is a young pirate apprentice in this rollicking work from 1879. Ray.
What is the Pirates of Penzance?
That is right for 2 points. Gilbert and Sullivan for 4. The true identity of a missing king is at the heart of 1889's The Gondoliers, set mostly in this city. Ray?
What is Venice?
Venice is right for 4 points, but you're out of this category. Blue team pick up the slack for 6 points in Gilbert and Sullivan. A perennial favorite, it is set in a rather inauthentic version of Japan. A perennial favorite, it is set in a rather inauthentic version of Japan. Five seconds. Debbie.
The Mikado.
The Mikado is right for 6 points. Well done, Debbie. That's a good one. That was a daily double on the show. For 8 points, 1882's Iolanthe tells the tale of a fairy who has disobeyed magical laws by marrying one of these. 1882's Iolanthe tells the tale of a fairy who has disobeyed magical laws by marrying one of these. 5 seconds. Time. She marries a human, which is against the law, apparently. Okay, here we go for 10 points in Gilbert and Sullivan. This grim landmark is the setting for 1888's The Yeoman of the Guard, and some of the fun takes place around the chopping block. This grim landmark is the setting for 1888's The Yeoman of the Guard, and some of the fun takes place around the chopping block. 5 seconds. Debbie.
Is it the Tower of London?
It is the Tower of London, and that's 10 more points for the red team. Well done. Halfway through the second round, tightening up. Blue team 75, red team 56. Our next category, the 1930s. The 1930s, which even I don't go back to, for 2 points. This Louisiana governor created his Share the Wealth in 1934, advocating higher income and inheritance taxes. This, Ray?
Who is Long?
That's the man. Huey Long is correct for 2 points. The 1930s for 4. This son of man o' war, with war in his own name, won the Triple Crown in 1937. This son of man o' war, with war in his own name, won the Triple Crown in 1937. Andrew?
Warhorse.
That is incorrect. We have to subtract 4. It's a break for the blue team. Ray, you want to take a stab at it? The son of man o' war, with war in his own name, won the Triple Crown in 1937.
We're going to consult openly. You guys...
I know nothing about racehorses.
I mean, my impulse is Warhammer, but I don't feel confident about that at all. Chaz?
That does not sound familiar, man.
No.
No.
We're going to pass.
Yeah, I don't know how they put that up so high as only 4 points. To me, I never heard of War Admiral.
Yeah.
War Admiral. I mean, you hear about Triple Crown winners whenever some horse, bodes to get up, but boy, anyway. Okay, that was 4 points. We go for 6 points in the 1930s. In 1934, F. Scott Fitzgerald published this novel about psychiatrist Jason.
The Great Gatsby?
No, incorrect. I'll continue the whole thing for the blue team. In 1934, F. Scott Fitzgerald published this novel about psychiatrist Dick Diver and his schizophrenic wife.
You guys, I think it's
Right.
Tender as the Night. Any objections?
You're the lit guy.
We're going to guess Tender as the Night.
Tender as the Night is the novel. Yes, indeed. Tender as the Night for 6. For 8 points, 1930s. See, I think Tender's the Night is a little easier than War Admiral, but that's, whatever. In June 1936, the Republican National Convention nominated this Kansas governor for president. In June 1936, the Republican National Convention nominated this Kansas governor for president. Five seconds. Time. In perhaps the biggest landslide loss in history, he lost to FDR defeated Alf Landon. Governor Alf Landon was his name. Finally, the 1930s for 10 points. World War I veterans demanding extra pay for their service made up the 1930s group known as this Army. Ray.
What is the bonus army?
The bonus army is right for 10 points. Their insurrection in Washington was put down by a young Colonel Douglas MacArthur. Our next category, something that's not true of any of us today, I'm bored. I'm bored. That's B-O-R-E-D. I'm bored for 2 points. Invite friends over to play this game. Dazzle them with your knowledge while filling in your token with little wedges. Andy.
Trivial Pursuit.
Yep. Trivial Pursuit for 2 points. I'm bored for 4. Go out and try a new restaurant. Recommended in this survey and guide launched in 1979. Ray?
What is Zagat's?
Zagat is correct for 4 points. That's correct. I'm bored for 6. Try writing one of these funny 5-line poems. Here, I'll start it for you. Ray?
What is a limerick?
Wasn't even able to start it. There once was a young man from Tibet. That's right. Limerick is correct. Ray, you're out of this category. For 8 points. In I'm bored. Take a hike up this impressive 8,800-foot formation in Yosemite National Park. Andrew.
Half Dome.
Half Dome is right. A triple stumper on the show. That's 8 points for the red team. Well done. Finally, I'm bored for 10. How about hitting the slopes of Loon Mountain or the Dartmouth Skiway in this state? Andrew.
New Hampshire.
New Hampshire is right for 10 points. Okay, we go into our final category, French crossword clues. French crossword clues. And, in the manner of crossword clues, I will give you the number of letters in each word. Okay? For 2 points, pen name. And the words are 3 letters, 2 letters, 5 letters. Andy?
Nom de plume.
Nom de plume is correct. And you can just imagine Alex overpronouncing all of this French obnoxiously on the air.
Totally.
It must have killed him that he had to read the clues in English. French crossword clues for 4. Good evening, 7 letters. Good evening, 7 letters. Ray.
What is bonsoir?
Bonsoir is correct. Bonsoir is right. You're out of this one. 6 points.
Oh, no, I still have one more.
Oh, do you? I apologize. It's hard for me to keep track. For 6 points. And there you have it. 5 letters. Ray?
Voila.
Voila is right. And it gives me a chance to remind everybody of the typo in a Kaplan book that we published, and we realized that you solve these steps of the equation and viola, and got caught just in time to go to the printer. Viola, but voila is correct. For 8 points. A place de coiffure or de beauté, 5 letters. A place de coiffure or de beauté, 5 letters. Charlie?
Salon.
Salon. Salon. That's correct. It is a salon. Finally, for 10 points, French crossword clues for 10. Up to date, 2 letters, 7 letters. Up to date, 2 letters, 7 letters. 5 seconds. Charlie?
Eau courante.
Au courant is correct. And a strong victory for Casu Marzu, which defeats the red teams 127-64. Thank you all so much for a really good match. Nobody gave up, and everybody was really into it. Very well played.
Everybody.
Great match, Tom.